I'm Tammy Jones, and I am the 2014 U.S. Amateur Champion.
I'm Linda Wang, and I'm the 2017 U.S. Amateur Champion.
My name is Dana Aft, and I am the 2013 U.S. Amateur Champion.
My name is Kenneth Brisbane, and I am the 2014 U.S. Amateur Champion! Yeah! Yeah, baby!
Well, welcome back to Strokers here in Palm Harbor, Florida for continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Welcome back, Jeremy.
Thank you.
The folks missed you this morning. They had to handle me solo for a while, but we are reunited and we are ready for our next match, third round action here. And we got a good one, folks, a real good one that I think you're going to be real happy about. Defending champion Blake Baker taking on former champion Ernesto Bayawa. So some early fireworks, Jeremy.
Yeah, a couple of guys outside asked me who I thought are the players that could win it, and obviously these two have proven they can, and I think you'll see one, if not both, in the mix come down the end tomorrow evening. So,
yeah.
Or excuse me, Sunday evening.
Yeah, should be an exciting matchup. A lot of folks were looking forward to it. I think we're close to ready to go. We'll go through the tournament format real quick. This is a race to 7, combination of 8-ball and 9-ball, up to 5 games of 8-ball, up to 8 games of 9-ball. Of course, this is double elimination up until the final round, which is an extended race, and the winner of the coin toss will take either the break or choose the format. As we mentioned, we got defending champ Blake Baker there. It looks like he is preparing to break. Blake is originally from DeWitt, Iowa. Now in Spokane, Washington, made the long trip down here with his new baby girl and his fiance.
Besides Alaska, for American territories, well, I guess Hawaii, that's a state.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a little further.
That's a little different kind of trip.
But on the mainland, let's say, on the mainland. So
good break there for Blake.
Yeah, and you'll see even the the open division, which is full of just guys this year, but even those guys are using that second ball break a lot. And that's where, I'll be honest about it, you might see a little different strategy as far as what you pick. We talked about the ladies maybe picking 8-ball because they felt like they'd get that time at the table a little quicker, a little more secure.
Mm-hmm.
But now with the open division now, it becomes a little different, I think. When you look at certain players, they make a ball on the break a lot playing 8-ball, and they're very good at running out behind it. So you may see some thought change there to where, they break 9-ball, they got to get a shot on that 1-ball. It's got to be that 1 to get a shot. So you may see some change as far as how they play the opening format and the break situation. Difficult here for Blake. Forced to take solids. He made a great shot on the opening one, but really what's really playable from here is pretty tough. Now the 2 goes up long. I don't think the 7 goes by the 12. Maybe it does. If it does, he could play the 7 and drop below the 2-ball, but it's still very difficult. Okay, he does have the 7, so he's going to try and bump this 2-ball just a little bit. So watch out if the 11 gets in the way. That's a great touch there.
Blake plays with the Davini cue. I think that's the same cue he was playing with when he won his title back in 2019.
Yeah, and I think that's what I remember from a couple years ago is not only Blake just really running out from the positions he's supposed to run out, but he just did a little more and got out from places that most of the rest of the tournament's not going to get out from. And that really makes a difference on winning the event, especially when you're talking about 8-ball.
Yeah. Well, if you remember back 2 years ago, he went undefeated in this event in his first appearance. Very impressive. He said he and Ernesto squared off, I think he said one time in Vegas in a match.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. Both these guys are really, really good guys as well. Of course, I know Ernesto for a long time, good friend of mine from Houston area, but Blake, every time I've been around him for the last about 3 years, I guess, around Vegas and around here, and Just always a breath of fresh air.
Well, I know he specifically mentioned your commentary and the opportunity to have eyeballs on him and in terms of what he brings to the table was important to him. So.
Oh, yeah.
An up-and-coming young player, Blake Baker, 25 years old.
Yeah.
He said he's had a 9-foot table. They moved up to Spokane from Vegas when they had the baby, and he said he's got a 9-foot table there. So one of the fortunate players here that's been able to keep in stroke as best they can, and he also mentioned he just recently won a tournament up in Montana. So
Yeah, I actually saw that. That was about 3 weeks ago, I think, or so. Maybe a hair longer.
it's a good way to get ready for this event.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's in another great pool state now in Washington, so.
Fires in that 8-ball, already off to a 1-0 lead. Break and run there for Blake.
Yeah, and a tough one, too. That wasn't easy. It's kind of what I was talking about earlier, getting out from spots that, 90% of the tournament's not getting out from. That's huge. And we'll see Ernesto, who I always talked about, some friends of ours that we all hung out, how talented an individual he is. Not just pool, it seems like everything, just very natural.
Brian Parks, 5-time champion, chimed in. He said, great first-round match feel for the loser side no matter who wins. So
Right?
somebody's going to run into one of these guys on the one-loss side, and they're probably not going to be too pleased. So, boy, talk about a tough early match. Whew.
Well, yeah, and you're talking about winter break. So, both these guys look to win a game and then sit their opponent down for a few games. That's the goal in this match.
So I'm going to assume that Ernesto chose to start in the 8-ball set based on what Blake mentioned here in the commentary booth, that he pretty much always takes the break now when he has the opportunity.
He's made 2 stripes. He's got a nice shot on a starter on the 14. I believe the 10 and 12 and 13 are just fine on the bottom rail. Man, I see him getting out again here. If he can just get down there for position on that bottom rail. Like I said, he's got a good starter on the 14, but the 9's a little funny to try and get shape. He may have to draw the cue ball off the 14 here to get shape on these balls near where he's standing. And this is a touchy shot. He's got to draw past the 5, but not too far.
Oh. Missed the shot, scratched in the corner. Ernesto will finally get a chance at the table. First opportunity to see Ernesto. Out of Tomball, Texas. Am I saying that right? Tomball?
That's right.
Tomball, Texas.
Tomball.
What is that, outside Houston?
Yeah,
Part of
that's
Houston metro area?
Yeah, that's on the north, a little bit west side of Tomball. It's one of the bigger, of Houston. It's one of the bigger suburbs on that side of town. Okay, Ernesto should start off probably with the 7. Probably dealing with the 7 somehow and getting on the 2 to open up the 4. From there, he's got some work left, of course, but most of them are going to be pretty open from there. So I like this choice. He's going to shoot the 7. He may hold for the 6, I don't know. But he definitely has to get the 2 out of there, like I said, to open the 4. So we'll see how he wants to play it.
Ernesto says he plays with a Tim Monk cue.
I don't know that maker.
Yeah, Tim Monk cue. Go Custom Shaft, James Handshoe, Jump Cue,
Another
BK
Texas
Rush Break.
guy,
Yeah. So I'm always interested in the equipment these guys use, and some of these guys actually have a cue sponsor that makes custom cues and
Absolutely.
and things. So
Well,
try to give them their due credit. I know their sponsors appreciate it.
and I think you and I discussed that a couple days ago, that when I first started playing, there were about 10 cue makers.
Yeah.
It seemed like.
Did you end up giving that Q-Tech away?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, who won that?
Well, Tina Larson won it, of course.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, you put it in good hands with her.
Yeah, and then we're going to give away.
Giving away another one?
Yeah, for the open division. Now, see
Nice.
what you got me doing. Tonight, we're going to do that around 7 o'clock.
Cool.
So, all right.
And what kind of Q-Tech is that, by the way?
It's the new Avid series.
Avid series.
It's a high performance. Now he's going to need a little. I don't think he was trying to go there, but he'll take it. High performance, a great price point. I can't wait to be playing with one, really.
I was telling somebody about it the other day, and I couldn't remember what kind of Q-Tech it was.
Yeah. She actually won the Florian Kohler.
My man.
Yeah, the Florian
Venom.
Kohler design
Nice.
series.
And so is that also the Q you play with then? You're playing with that style of Q or a different kind of Q-Tech?
I play with the Synergy now,
Okay.
but I like a 30-inch shaft, so they're going to make me a 30-inch shaft for the Avid, and I think I'll probably just pretty much go to playing with that. I mean, I love them both, but all right. So perfect here after a little kiss on the stripe. Just 1 ball, 4 ball, 3 ball, 8 in the side. I'm interested to see how, Blake can break the balls any kind of way as well, but I know Ernesto has a big break. So I'm interested to see if he plays the second ball break if he gets out here or goes with the head-on break. The thing about these rules is you're really, I don't want to say luck, but the pool gods really, you break second ball, there's a lot of clusters, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
So if you happen to make a stripe or whatever and, your stripes are clustered up, you're in kind of bad shape. So kind of like the head ball break if you break them well with this format.
Ernesto about to get on the board here. He suffers no commentator curse.
No, he's good.
1-1 here, and Ernesto will now have the break. In the third game of the 8-ball set. Man, how about the ladies' finals last night? How about that? Jeannie Seaver storming the victory. Local girl here, Tarpon Springs.
Yeah, she played great. She started off a little bit like, she'd been sitting for a few hours, and the 8-ball, the layouts got tough, but then once they got to the 9-ball, it was like.
I asked her about that too. I said, it looked like it, especially in that 8-ball set, you got going a little slow. Was it the layoff? Was it just starting an 8-ball? She said a little bit of both. She said 8-ball's not always her best game, and that with the layoff. But she certainly found her stroke. And she was all smiles. She had that mask on, but I could still see that big smile underneath there.
Well, she's always been a quiet lady, so, I didn't expect maybe the huge celebration. She's a very humble person.
She's not jumping on the table.
I didn't think so anyways, I was thinking about it when she was running out that last game.
You ever see that except at the Moscone Cup, the jumping on the table? Did that come about at the Moscone? I mean, do you see that anywhere else?
I think it got perfected there. Earl was a guy that would do that. A few world championships, he did that. I actually watched one not too long ago.
You ever done that other than the Moscone Cup?
No,
not an individual
and I wouldn't have done it at the Moscone if the guys didn't say you got to do it. So
you got to be careful up there.
Oh man, yeah.
You break a leg coming off that thing.
Yeah, I almost got knocked out in 2005, I think it was. I made the winning 9-ball for the Moscone in 2005, and they come out and bombard you.
You're like
the
the
team
pitcher
does.
on the mound when they slam you right after victory.
Yeah, and Tony Robles was on the team, and
I guess better than.
And
Dennis
I was
Hatch,
jumping a little, and he jumped, and his head hit my jaw. I swear I would have bit my tongue off if I just happened to have it in the wrong place. But I got jarred. He actually held me up for a moment because it's like getting hit in the face.
Yeah.
So. Earned a dry break, and that's just what I was thinking, that maybe Ernesto goes with a head-on break. You can see the spread much different than the second ball break. Okay. Pretty open. He's got a little bit to deal with. Okay, wants to peel off the 3. That's the right shot there. Now he'll try to go down and deal with the 4. And the 5 ball's helping him in that sense. He can make a pretty easy combination on the 4-5. It's close. I don't know if he can get in there at the 4 right now or not. If he can't, it looks like he can. That's definitely what he wants to do, slide the 4 into the 5 here. Nice shot. Now don't overthink it. You just got to hit this lightly and come across. I think the 2 will still hold there. He'll have to go to the rail with the cue ball, though. You get these types of shots, you kind of feel like, man, they can get away from me, but they certainly can, but I think Blake will handle it. Just got to hit it light. Yeah, there you go. Tell you, this is only my second U.S. Amateur, Jason, but I was commenting also to another guy that just from some of the players I know or know of, it's maybe some of the highest quality as far as players in the open division that you might see. Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
It's interesting. Blake was just up here during that last match before you got here. Said the exact same thing. He said, I was looking over the field. He said, he's only played in this twice, but he said, I feel like looking at the names that I know might be stronger than when he was here in 2019.
Right.
And one reason for that could be, Jeremy, again, the pandemic. Can't play in certain places. I know we had a ton of interest in playing in this particular event this year because there just hasn't been a lot of tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
So players get a chance to go play in a preliminary, which is a tournament in and of itself. And then if you win that, you get to come here. And so there was a great deal of interest in trying to get qualified for this event. And I think, it's a great event. We think the world of it, but could also have something to do with the fact that there just hasn't been a lot of tournaments for guys, top amateurs, I should say, to come and play in. So
well, not only during the preliminaries, there wasn't near as much going on, right? So now you have a chance to go play in the preliminary versus another tournament that's usually going on at that time of the year or whatever. Plus, wasn't there a little bit more preliminaries this because things got stretched out a little bit, right?
There were actually ultimately three entry windows because, some areas hadn't come back yet.
Right.
And some areas got to hold multiple preliminaries. They held one the first time, and they were able to have a secondary preliminary because, nobody was coming from Canada. There's no preliminary, or very few preliminaries on the West Coast, I should say. So you just didn't have players coming from certain areas lended more qualifier spots to different areas. So
to the ones that were able to do so.
Yeah, and so we're trying to kind of navigate how that's going to work going forward because obviously there's great demand, and to fulfill that demand you need to be able to have a few more pool tables or lengthen your event or something. So we'll figure it out, though. We're good at figuring that stuff out.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest with you, you get like concentrated areas where you have just whether it be big metroplexes or whatever whatever you want to call it, that just have a bit more of more good players, right, that maybe should be in this event if you really look at it, that when it comes down to it, they play in the same prelims, right, and only one or two can go.
Right.
So, like, for instance, Dallas, I see a few more from Dallas and Texas and different areas that are like, okay, we got 3 or 4 there now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Blake now leading 2-1 here over Ernesto. Ernesto at the table at the moment. A lot of buzz going on in the room suddenly, just kind of a lot of folks in here at the moment. A little quiet this morning.
In the APA, I'm assuming, and this isn't a rule that we talked about actually, if it's open, you can shoot a solid into a strike, correct or no?
You got to ask me the rules questions, don't you, Jerry?
Oh, my bad.
Let's see what the stream says.
Okay. Maybe not. Maybe you can't.
I believe you can.
Okay.
But
most of the amateur
I am
rules
maybe
these days
one
you
of the
can.
worst, yeah.
So even some of the pro division rules you can. So.
Every time I answer a rule question, Bill gets on me and says, "Do not, under any circumstances, talk about the rules." No, he doesn't say that, but he does give me kind of funny looks. So I try to defer.
Yeah.
That, and we got different rules here at the U.S. Amateur Championship, which sometimes throws me off a little bit. Obviously, you got the jump cue is allowed and the push outs allowed.
I guess that might be my department between me and you, huh? Make sure the rules.
I'm gonna get you the manual to read.
There you go.
Cover to cover. It's only about 372 pages.
Oh Lord.
No, I'm just kidding. But it is long.
That's
you wouldn't think there'd be
like
so many
Gone
rules,
with the Wind
but
almost.
it's like the more rules you have, the more rules you need to have because
Right.
something comes up here and there and.
Okay, now Ernesto has really done a lot here with that first shot. Now second shot, he's gotten himself in a great position. I think he can just shoot the 11 and fall on the 14, then have the 15 by the 2 in the lower right, and have a good chance to run out here on a tough table. I think anyways, I think that's about all the run out that I see. I think he's got to use the 11 now. He's a little worried about the 15, but I don't know if he's noticed the 15 goes by the 2 easily. So if he kind of gets straight on the 14 and shoots a little stop shot, like I said, the 15 goes in the lower right. That should lead him towards the 9. I know the 13 's still up the table, or is that the 12? I always mix those up with the colors. Oh, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. And he didn't want to roll it. He wanted to try and hold it and get a little closer to the 14. So he may have to kick at the 9 here. And this is where, you know, playing at a little higher level, these guys makes a huge difference. He could maybe, I don't know if he can reach cut in the 9. That would be awesome for him. But you won't see those little safeties with the table open. You know, it's just not going to get the job done. So you'll see Ernesto and Blake in a tough position. You may see him have to go for a shot that you might say, well, why did he go for that? Well, it's just a little different class, right? So he's looking at the kick on the 15 now, and I don't blame him. Thought he might look at the kick on the 9. I'm not saying it's great, but you may cover up the pocket if you miss. If you make it, you may get a shot at the 14. I don't blame him on the kick on the 15, though, either. If he can reach this and he thinks it's cuttable, I think that's definitely the shot.
Ernesto looking to tie things up here at 2 in this race to 7. 4th game of the 5-game 8-ball set.
Is that okay? No. Okay. I'll take it.
Good effort. And again, you might look at that and say, wow, why did he shoot that? And he's, you know, can't just play a little bump safety against Blake. It's just not going to get the job done. Okay, so Blake's in a great position. Love to play that 5 off the 9 to open that pocket for the 6, but he doesn't have to. He can just hold for the 6 cross corner.
Talked a lot about Blake having won the 2019 U.S. Amateur Championship, but he's also a 2-time junior champion. So his career has just kind of continued to ascend as he's gotten a little bit older. We'll see how far he can go. You see right here, Jeremy, what are your pool goals? One word.
That's it,
Mosconi with 3 exclamation points. So he's pretty clear on what his goal is.
Well, that's great.
I love that fire. I mean,
yeah.
What confidence, too. I mean, you know, that's not just saying I want to win a pool tournament. That's saying I want to be in the pool tournament.
Yeah, and you know, probably had that goal for a long time.
Yeah.
Just the way things have turned out for Blake as far as, you know, just ascending through the pool ranks, you might say. And talent's there for sure, you know. It's just like all these guys, it's just as much time as they can spend playing with the better players, you know, and that's what it takes, getting out there and playing some of the bigger tournaments. So I'm sure we'll see that from Blake.
Yeah. He was set to play in the U.S. Open last year up until the world shut down. I know, disappointing for him and, of course, many others.
Yeah, mid-March of 2020. I'll never forget that.
The world changed
Yeah.
just a little over a year ago. But looks like it's changing a little back towards the way we like it, so we'll get there.
Yeah, it was actually during the conference tournaments last year in basketball that
basketball
they shut it down. And at one of the games, it was in the middle of the game. They went to halftime, and the coach said, "This is it,
crazy,
no more." And now they're back, and the March Madness officially starts tonight with the final 64. So that's a great that it's you know, looking more like it should.
Unfortunately, my team is currently losing in March Madness.
Oh, are they playing already?
Gators are down 6 to Virginia Tech early, but
Okay.
not early, second half. Early
Virginia Tech's a sneaky little team. I watched a little bit of them this year. So my North Texas right there from Denton, where I live, 10 minutes from my house.
Your Cinderella this year, huh?
Yeah, they played tonight against Purdue, and they're only a 7-point underdog, so that makes me think they got a shot.
There's always some Cinderellas.
Mm-hmm.
Why not them?
Yeah, they won 4 conference games to win the title and get in the dance. Okay, big shot on the 1. He's a little off angle, so he's wondering, all right, do I try to just hold it? Do I go forward lightly? Because he's worried about the 12 a little bit. Nice shot. Well, this is both these guys' first match.
Yep, first match here in the 3rd round. I believe by the 4th round, everyone should have played their first match.
All right, a little long distance here. Sitting nice on it, nice and heavy. So just a nice delivery of the cue. Get him out to a 2-game lead here at 3-1.
Every game in a match like this, I mean, it's a little bit longer than the ladies' race, but still, just a 7.
Oh, yeah,
Every point is important.
definitely. Sitting on a little funny bridge, you can tell. See him put his hand down now? So it was a little long for him, bridging off the rail, and I like him doing this.
Oh. Can't get that 8 to drop.
Now you got to believe, even though all shots are tough here, the 14 has a little bit of sideboard, you might call it, with the 9 being there. Makes the pocket quite a bit bigger. And again, you know, there's situations now where, you know, you can play safe no matter what the player is because there's places to put the cue ball, but still, I still think he should probably shoot at the 14 and try and make it to where Blake doesn't come back to the table, even though Ernesto would definitely leave him something tough, you would think, but I still like him trying to make one. All right, looks like he's going for the 15 here. Trying to ease this in the corner. You can tell he didn't leave much, but these better players, they really figure out ways to do something incredible, and whether it be a kick shot or some type of rail first shot here. Wouldn't shock me if Blake made this. And it's the type of kick to where when you do hit it, you make it a bit more often than you think because you're coming in right where you want.
Oh,
Just
what
like
a
that.
shot.
Watch out, cue ball.
Oh.
Watch out, cue ball.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Wow. Great shot. Unfortunately for Blake, just too much on that cue ball, and it goes in the opposite corner. But, whew.
Yeah, Ernesto's got a little reprieve there. He saw
Yeah.
the 8 go in,
Holy
and probably
cow.
heart rate went up a little bit, and it got settled a little more.
A lot of emotions there in that split second. Holy cow. That had highlight reel material written all over it. Just could have kept that ball out of the pocket. That scratch makes things 2-2.
Yeah, this is our last game of 8 ball, is that
Yeah,
right? It's
final
5 and
game
8,
of the
right?
8-ball set coming up here. So
So
one of these players will have a small advantage as we move into the 9-ball set.
yeah, we'll have a tight one though going into the 9 ball.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, I'm looking around and I don't see a whole lot of missing going on in this building right now.
Guess everybody's found some 9-foot tables to play on the last couple weeks, huh?
Oh yeah.
And we talked about a lot of tournaments here in the Tampa area with this event going on. A lot of these guys, I think last night, were playing. Sticks, is that right? Is that where they were playing last
Yeah, there's
night?
a few of them sticks. The
Yeah.
crooked cue, bank shots not far. Family billiards.
I think
is in
somebody was having
Clearwater,
a
so-
tournament last night.
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
little tournament. So some of these guys looking to get in stroke, especially if they haven't had a chance to play on a 9-foot a whole lot, depending on where they're coming from.
Okay, and this is a prime example of the second ball to where when you don't make one, you kind of feel like you have a little insurance to where the out's going to be super tough. Look at that shot. Wow, he made the ball he wanted to make, and I'm not sure how the cue ball had so much follow to scratch, but
Well, some early hiccups here for Blake. A little trouble with that cue ball.
yeah, the 8 last game, that was just unfortunate. He had to turn it loose and try and
Yeah.
make the 8, but all right. So looks like to me solids for sure. The 11 and 10 are really tied up on the bottom rail there, and he's got ball in hand, so the 2 balls shouldn't be an issue to start with. I think just roll forward for the 5. I think that's what the play is. You'll pick up, take the 1 away, maybe drop down for the 4. So something like the 2, 5, 1, maybe drop down for the 4, then come back up to this clear side of the table for the 6 and the 3 maybe. We'll see. He's okay. He can actually play the 5, 3, 6, and then use the 1 to get on the 4. Has there been any like big upsets so far that you've seen, or?
Not so far. I mean, of course it's so early, and I've only been focused on the stream table primarily. The last round we saw Terry Edwards. Do you know Terry Edwards by chance?
I don't know if I know him or not.
He, boy, he played great. He's out of Alabama, one of those great players that come out of Alabama, and he took it to our buddy Jose Del Rio, the owner here at Strokers. It wasn't a very close match. Terry looked to be in good form and
Just played real well.
played real great, yeah. So I definitely took note of that.
All right, he's going to just draw the cue ball back a little bit here.
I think I heard through the grapevine that Kenny Brisbane, a former champion, forfeited his first match. So I'm not sure
If he made it,
if he didn't make it or what the story is there, which would be disappointing. Kenny is not only a great player, but a really great guy, fun guy to be around. And
yeah, I haven't seen him yet. I know Kenny, so.
you know, a lot of these guys that come to this event, they like to see the former champs. They like a chance to play with the best. And so whatever the circumstance, hopefully he's doing all right.
Okay, big shot here early. This is the last game of the 8 ball, and whoever wins this not only carries the lead into the 9 ball, but that opening break.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got a little funny here. He's a little off angle. I don't know if he can easily go forward, you know, maybe bump the 12, but I think the scratch is kind of looming off the 12, so I'm not sure how he's playing it. Is he trying to draw off the 15, kind of getting that gap between the 8 and the 12 for the 4? Oh, he overcut it. Okay, so we'll see what Blake wants to do. Second look at that 10-11, it looks like it plays to the opposite corner there, the 11-10 combo. So you'll have to get kind of short side on it. That's a good camera view there. It looks like it's kind of lined up. Now he could drop off the 9 right now. He could go into the 11-10. I don't blame him if he does that rather than trying to get short position. He didn't get it. And he's left himself in a funny spot for a makeable shot here. You may see him play a safety here or kick at the 11-10 combo if it's that wired. Otherwise, he's, like I said, he's gotten himself to where I don't know really he has an offensive play. What region is your Florida team playing in, Jason?
You know, I haven't had a chance to follow much because I've been down here now for a week, and they didn't come out with the brackets, I guess, until was it Sunday?
Yeah.
Sunday evening. So I'm not sure which bracket they're in. They were a 7 seed going against number 10 Virginia Tech. But I'll be honest, I love my Gators, but their basketball team has
not what it
been
used
very underwhelming this year. Well, they lost one of their top players early in the season. He was that college player that had the heart thing. Remember, he collapsed. That was kind of a big deal there in December, and he was not able to come back. And I don't know. They've underperformed, but you never know in tournament time, I suppose.
Okay, maybe a safety here. I don't know. Again, getting in a funny spot. So maybe roll on the 13. Doesn't want the 13 to bounce off and hit the cue ball again, though. So that'll work.
Seen a surge of viewers over the last couple of minutes here for this coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship happening here at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida, brought to you by the American Pool Players Association. You're watching former champion Ernesto Bayawa from Tomball, Texas, square off against defending champion Blake Baker. They are tied 2-2 in this race to 7. This is a third-round match, the first for both of these players. Great early matchup to take in. The only downfall is that one of these guys is going to find themselves on the one-loss side of the bracket sooner than they had hoped.
Yeah, one's going to end up being a little more motivated than the other after this match. Nice hit there. I mean, if he gets him to the end rail, which is what he's trying to do with the cue ball, he's trying to just make Blake have to come with a good shot. That's the main thing. You lose the game from this position, you kind of figure most of the time against a player like Blake. But if you at least make him make a really good shot to beat you in this game, you've done your job. And he's trying to see if he can squeeze him up on that 11-10 right there. I don't know. That looks a little dangerous to me. Hate to leave Ernesto a real clean shot. You can tell he doesn't want to take on the 12 because he doesn't want to elevate and have to hit it hard. If he could follow and get shape, but there's no shape there if he follows the ball. So that's why he's kind of leaning away from that shot on the 12. You make a tough shot like that, you want to get a little better reward, right? So,
if you're a pool player and you're enjoying this match that we're bringing you free live here from Strokers in Palm Harbor, I'd encourage you to hit that share button. Make sure all your pool playing friends can see this outstanding matchup between these two.
Wow, did you see that little bump on the 11 back on the 10? Ernesto, though, I mean, the thing is, he's going to have a tough cut on the 1 to maybe steal the game. So that's as good as he could ask for after a mistake early. I see Richard over here running out from Huntsville, Alabama.
Richard Andrews, yeah.
Playing pretty well.
He's a guy that was in this event almost every year, and then for a while he was not. It's tough to get out of that Alabama prelim. I mean, you see David Rowell here, and you see Robert Hall here. He's here. He's a former champ. They're all out of Alabama. I mentioned Terry Edwards. Some great players coming out of that region.
Good effort. And I'll tell you, he's still kind of leaving it tough on Blake. I mean, he's got a 12 ball he can shoot at, but he's still got a lot of problems with the 11-10, it looks like. Maybe, anyways. Hard to tell when you're in the booth, but
it is tough to differentiate some of those colors, isn't it?
oh yeah, for sure. Those two, for sure.
Those two
It seems like
yeah.
nice shot.
Look at that.
And I was wondering what would happen afterwards. How much, like maybe if he pins himself in a bad position, but I think he had to shoot at that.
noticed that before.
Missed there, but not sure he left much. Doesn't appear the 4 goes by the 8. He's getting the jump cue, it looks like, to go after the 1.
Whole lot of folks joining us in the last few minutes. I think lunchtime must have just got over with because, man, we just saw a surge again. If you're just tuning in, we got a real dandy for you on this Friday afternoon. We got Ernesto Bayawa versus defending champion Blake Baker here at the U.S. Amateur Championship. Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. What a jump shot there. But not the outcome he was hoping for.
No, got a lot of action on that ball, though. Did you see the cue ball draw all the way back up the table? So, pretty impressive there. Now Blake's in a good spot. 14, probably the 13 next. Could take the 11 up long if he wanted or come above it. It's up to him. Probably wants to play the 12 last. Just because the 11 doesn't get to shape easily for the 8. Not saying you can't do it, but the 12, it's kind of open and free on this end of the table, and you can move the cue ball easily into position for the 8. Really nice cue ball control there, Jason.
Blake will take a 1-game lead into the 9-ball set. Finishes out the 8-ball set 3-2. Very even matchup here so far. Both players with a couple of small mistakes. I know they wish they could have back, but, you know, that happens. Nice view here of strokers. All the tables currently underway in the 3rd round. Players doing a great job of following all the COVID protocols and things, keeping their distance and their space. Their masks up. What's that like? You played with a mask yet? You Is that
it didn't bother me at all.
No?
I mean, there's some masks at home that we have that are thicker.
You like to get your chin on the cue, or are you one of those that gets
I'm real
that
close
low?
to it, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't know if that affected
I don't know
you at
about
all.
these days, but I used to be right on top of it. But yeah, but the thicker ones, they become a little tougher, I think. But these,
The
fairly
thinner ones,
common.
Yeah, the surgical
yeah,
ones.
exactly.
Get a little better feel.
Yeah, those seem pretty easy to me. So
I'm guessing most of these guys have kind of gotten used to it over the last year. If they were out playing pool somewhere, they probably had already experienced doing it with a mask on. So, but again, we appreciate all their cooperation. Just trying to keep everybody healthy, making sure they come out of here healthy and set the stage for more pool tournaments into the summer and into the fall.
I wouldn't doubt if some of them really kind of trained with it on for this event.
Yeah,
to be honest with
probably
you.
be smart.
Yeah.
Be smart to do it. Find something comfortable, that kind of thing. All right, Blake will have the break here in the 9-ball set. They can play up to 8 games in 9-ball, depending on how things progress here. Gets a good look at that rack.
Yeah, and you'll see most likely both these guys break from the side rail, trying to make the corner ball or the one in the side.
Just missed that one in the side. Well, I have seen a lot of dry breaks today. I mean, I feel like even the last just 2 days, even towards the end of the ladies' event, just
Yeah, there were a ton of them.
dry breaks.
And just sometimes, these guys, of course, checking the rack and whatnot, so the rack's good. Just sometimes you find a table, just one reason or another, and just I don't really know the reasons necessarily, but for one reason or another, they're breaking tough. As you can see, they moved all over the table, but
I don't think I've seen any template racks today. I don't know that we saw any late in the day yesterday either. It seems like either one or both players opting to stick with the good old-fashioned wood rack.
yeah, Ernesto should bring the cue ball back behind the 3, I think. Just kind of float behind the 3, let the 1 just drift past the 4. A little left spin like that. That's a great touch. Got underneath it. He's going to give up a 1-9, early 1-9 here to tie the match at 3.
That's tough.
Yeah. Wasn't trying to get that deep underneath it. He knew that scratch was there if he got way underneath the ball, but trying to just kick it up table a little bit and kind of hold the cue ball there.
All right. Like you said, the 1-9 combo for Ernesto ties this matchup at 3 games apiece. No surprise here that we are in a close race. Race to 7. Ernesto will have the break. So you got some rest last night
Yeah,
after
I
a
did
long,
great. That
long
was
day.
awesome.
Your voice sounds good. You sound deeper. You ready to?
Yeah.
I can tell you got some sleep.
No, I did good last night. That was great.
Yeah, long day for Double J yesterday.
Yeah.
You do every round yesterday?
Yep.
Wow.
You worked me 13 hours, I think it
Holy
was.
cow.
It's okay.
I don't think people
I lost a
realize how
little
hard
weight.
it is to talk that long, you know?
Yeah, it's good though. I mean, I've been very entertained. Like I said, last time I was here, I really enjoyed it. So far here this time, I really enjoyed it. So it gets a little long sometimes, but that's fine.
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think I've yet to ever go to a tournament and watch a match where didn't get a little long somewhere along the way, right?
Yeah, no big deal at all. Enjoyed
That's
every
what you got to
minute of it.
have, though, to have the real close matches. You always want that hill nail biter. It just takes a while. It takes a while to get to those.
Yeah.
Got to be
And
patient.
you can kind of, almost see sometimes when a match and you just, he just missed the 1 a little bit. Hit him with the right connection. The speed was correct, just that nice pop. But just, like I said, come across the 1 a little bit on the far side, and that leads towards that scratch cross side. So Blake, after that big scratch in the first game of the 9-ball, now with a good chance to make up for it. And he should just come up. It looks like the 3 passes the 8. It's a nice speed there, nice speed control. You get a little thin on that, could be problems. Now he's going to have to work the cue ball from the 5 to the 6. You can see the 6 doesn't pass the 8. So we want to shoot the 3. Doesn't want to get too straight here. He wants to gain an angle to get back. See where the cue ball's at now. If you're looking at your screen, he'd like to get a little right of there. Just a little bit left of for him, but right for us. That looks a little straightish. This is going to cause a problem. Yeah, now he's really got to show his skills working the cue ball. We'll see what kind of angle he has here in a moment. Yeah, he's just going to have to draw it. Powerful stroke, but could get away from you sometimes. Not this time. Okay, looks like top English, so he's going by the 9-2 rails. Oh, he caught the 9. Still going to end up okay. That could have ended up an off-angle bank, but not too bad here. One I think he'll certainly attack on. Kind of reminds me of 2019 watching Blake play. He's got mad skills, but early in the tournament in 2019, from what I remember, he's like, maybe you might say a little the adrenaline going, trying to, he's going to have to settle himself in a little bit, and that's what he did in 2019. He just played better and better and better. All right, big shot for Ernesto. Got to put a little stroke into this to come down table. Doesn't have to get all the way down. Little past the side is all. What a great shot that was. He's got to talk to the cue ball a little bit here.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah.
Appreciate all you folks that have shared the stream. Saw quite a jump in viewership. Glad you guys are enjoying it. Ernesto Bayao now with his first lead. 4-3 over Blake Baker.
And I'll tell you, that could bode towards some breaking runs, and I say that just because the way he broke last time was really nice. Just got across the 1 a hair, and he'll make that adjustment. So expect Ernesto to make a ball and break him a little better. Don't lose the cue ball.
Gotta give a shout out to Nat Hudson. Gave me a little tip that the Gators had taken the lead in their NCAA tournament game.
All right, the 7's down, but Ernesto changed his break. He went off the side rail to the middle of the table more, and I know he scratched on the last, but actually had a pretty good break besides the scratch. So a little surprised he changed. Usually you give it at least one more chance. I mean, you can't be stubborn. You have to, even in this short race, if you see something you're not feeling good about or not working, you can't be stubborn and not change. I've made that mistake before. Learned the hard way. I'd like to go for this bank cross side, but doesn't really see any way to get shape on the 2. All right, nice cue ball control there. Okay, he'll have a little speed on this. This won't be a light kick shot at all. Trying to create a little bit of luck, maybe. The 1 looks like it's going to lay on the end rail, maybe. It kind of slowed up a little, so see a really thin cut shot from Ernesto, I think, anyways. And just like the top players, what you call the top amateurs, they're the top amateurs because they stay aggressive. Stay aggressive in nature, trying to make balls and keep their opponent in the chair when possible. Pretty good cue ball there. It looks like he may have given up a sliver of the 1.
He's trying to find that sliver.
Yeah, I thought he had a piece of it, but maybe the camera's fooling me. I can almost see from the booth here what he's got almost. Yeah, he's got a little piece of it, I think. I think so. And just happened to be looking down the line from some 50 feet away maybe, but Maybe he has to curve it a little bit. Yeah, it looks like he's got to curve it a little bit. Watch outside pocket. Not bad. Now Ernesto will do something similar, most likely. Try and shave the 1 ball. Come back behind the 2 as well, trying to take advantage of the 5 and the 8. I think, anyways. Real light hit on the 1. Oh, he tried to use the 5 and the 8. He got a little double kiss. Now Blake set up nicely. Shoot the 1. Just make sure he keeps a little angle on the 2. He can play the 3 up long or on the short pocket.
Gets that 1 in the side there. Two in the corner. He's going to take the 3 ball all the way up table.
Well, you got long and straight on this, Jason. Nothing easy about this 3 ball. And it doesn't appear he has much angle at all, so getting on the 4, another tough part of the equation here. You may see him elevate. Try and draw the cue ball back. Wow, what a shot. He's got a lot of talent, I tell you. He's got to kind of roll this in, though. Not the way the guys usually like to shoot the ball. Shouldn't be too bad, though. Long shot up in the top left corner. He'll just try to get to the middle of the table. He overcut it. Worked out, though.
Yep. Have coverage for you this year's U.S. Amateur Championship throughout the day today. Maybe not the last round of the day, especially if it goes late like yesterday, but better part of the day we'll be here and bringing you coverage. Continuing throughout the weekend until we crown a champion on Sunday, sometimes Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. A lot of pool still to be played, obviously.
He wants to kick to the top rail, just straight 1 rail at it, and that's the one I really kind of like. Just create a little luck. Just he can't reach it very much, so very easily. So, but I still think that's the way to kick. I think you can create a lot of luck that way, going into maybe the 6 with the cue ball, something like that. I think he's going to go for his extension here.
Had some comments from folks that they really enjoyed learning from you based on what you talk about during the match, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was a pretty lucky guy to be around a lot of great players. Kind of in them, I got the best of both a couple errors, you know what I mean? So actually probably like 3 good friends of mine back home in Houston that were kind of like the Willie Mosconi era kind of guys,
Wow.
Jersey Red and stuff like that. And then, of course, being around the Johnny Archers and the Nick Varners and that era, and then the new guys these days you can certainly learn from as well. Pretty fortunate in that regard.
Just trying to give back, huh?
Yeah.
Give back to what the game's given you.
Yeah, it's like us guys at the tournament. We discuss things, all the time. We were talking about that yesterday, that, these players, they aren't professionals, but they all get together and discuss different things about how, oh, this should have done that way. What do you think about that?
Mm-hmm.
Some of it, oh, I dogged it. Some consoling at times, so.
Looking for the bridge.
Yeah. You can cheat this pocket just a little bit to create a little easier cue ball movement. Probably playing the 8 in the top left corner where he's standing at now. Okay, wants that little bounce there, and that's okay. Moving right along, looks like it's going to be 4-4. And, with both players getting that opportunity to play, we expected a close match, right, Jason?
Absolutely, especially in this one. Never sure in the first match for guys how they, they might come out. Even Blake was like, he was a little anxious. He's like, I want to be on the stream table, but doing it first is, of course, he's handled the pressure just fine. Pockets at 9, ties things up, but you just never know when you haven't, your first match of the tournament.
Yeah, and you never know, like I said, with opportunity. But both these guys are very capable of sitting their opponent down in a chair for, 3-4 games
Absolutely.
at a time. So.
Well, it's now a race to 3. Both players with 4 games won. Blake, once again, will have the break. Some folks asking who the next match is. I don't know just yet. I don't believe, as I look at Kara for reassurance of what I'm saying.
All right, 1 in the side. 9 has some action on it. Oh, he's going to get a nice kiss, but is the 2 going to open up and be playable? Doesn't appear so. It looks like the 6 is, man, the 6 is a saving grace for Ernesto, I'll tell you that, because look at the rest of the table. I know he's not going to like it. He's going to be kicking, but that's better than not getting to do anything at all. Now the 4 has made this kick shot very difficult. So he's going to have to go below it and spin a little bit, or above it and kind of twist it back. Great shot. Great shot. This is one of the prettier shots in pool here. We'll see if Brett, I think he has to hit past the 8 with a draw stroke and kind of bend the ball into the 2. I mean, there's not really much choice. He could hit above the 8, but it's very tight going by the 5 and getting into the 2 ball. So I would love to shoot it the way he's looking with a natural high cue ball, but there's not much room there. So be surprised if he hits this one. Oh wow, what a great shot, and made it. Both these guys are kind of getting going a little bit here. Wow, what a shot.
Hope you folks are enjoying this matchup as much as we are. Again, live coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida.
I'd like to come 1 rail at the 7 here if I'm Brett. Blake. If you come over in between, yeah, just like that, like he did there. I know you could get elevated, but if you come over in between and get straight in on the 4, kind of near the rail, you're kind of dead meat. Pardon my language, but
I think dead meat's appropriate.
It's okay.
I think that's even
that's
in
still
today,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. And but I like the way he played it. Now that one there, he kind of a little bit of a decelerating stroke, so not his best. He wanted another foot out of the cue ball. Okay, it looks like he's going to play a 1 reel down on the our left side of the 6 with a little inside English, just a touch. Just float down. Like that. And got a little rub on the 8, so.
One less ball to worry about, I guess.
Yeah, right. Well, he's glad it dropped. He didn't want to be queuing over the 8 or something like that. Great shot. And I'll tell you, two of the most talented guys in the building, that's for sure. There's a lot of talent in here, but just both these guys just really natural.
Don't be surprised if you see both these guys again on Sunday. Now Blake with a chance to retake the lead.
You know it's a good match. Short race, you get so many lead changes, right? So
now leads 5-4 in this race to 7.
yeah, Blake broken great in the last game, played a beautiful safety. Ernesto made a beautiful kick, got safe, and then Blake kicked it in, so.
One on the side.
Okay, decisions. Blake comes from an area where they play a little bit of bank pool, and he's got a little bit of a big pocket on this bank with the 7 up in the upper corner, so we'll see if he wants to take it on. He's an aggressive player by nature, so I wouldn't doubt that's not a bad play, really. Now he's going to chop the 2 and maybe try and run the cue ball 2 rails behind the 6. Yeah, like that. Looks pretty good. Nice shot. Okay, Ernesto can get to the rail. It looks, oh no, he can see the ball. All right, we're going to most likely see the jump cue here with the 2 over the side.
Blake wanted to give a shout out to all of his sponsors, including Davini Cues, D Rio Promotions, Jam Up Apparel. You can see him in the Jam Up shirt. End Zone Products and Crooked Cues. Well, missed that 2.
I think it jumped over the 2.
Put it
It
into
jumped
the,
over the 3 and then bounced again
Yeah,
over
I'm
the
watching
2.
the replay on that. Let's see. Well, kind of behind.
Oh,
Came
behind it,
yeah, a little
okay.
up table from the 2, and so just a little off with the aim. It had the right distance.
Okay, Ernesto with ball in hand now, trailing by a game at 5-4. The 3's a little tight here, going by the 7, so the one shot he really needs to pay attention to. Ernesto, who has resided in the Houston area for some time, I've known him 20 years plus at least, but really got his pool playing days started in San Diego, California.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where
I did not know that.
Yeah, much of his family still lives back in California, and I believe his mom and has a sibling or two in Houston area, but he has some back in Cali.
You guys met up on the table before?
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
played in tournaments. I mean, yeah, we've never, we used to put $1 or $2 on the golf a little bit.
I
But,
gotcha.
I mean, you got to do that, or else it's just not worth playing, right? So.
Otherwise, just drinking with sticks.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, we played many tournament matches. Houston has the Houston Open, the Space City Open. They have the Texas State Open, of course, there in Austin. So definitely have played some matches before, and I haven't liked it some of the time either. So. All right, little off angle here on a froze ball. I mean, he's got enough power to easily move it 2 rails back and forth, but if he just tries to pull it straight out, he may have to shoot the 8 from a little longer distance than he kind of really wanted. Yeah, see, that's the shot I was talking about. Didn't quite get the dig on the cue ball he wanted, so he's still going to have to shoot the 8 from a little more distance than probably desired, but plenty of angle here. Just a nice, clean, medium stroke. Nice shot. Very confident stroke there.
Looks like we're going to be tied up at 5 here. Well, Jeremy, thus far, this match has lived up to the hype.
Oh, yeah. Running, I think, hour and a half intervals here, right?
Just about, yep.
Yeah. We'll see what type of break Ernesto uses here. I like him going back to the side rail, I think.
You can see some of the tables have finished up, so start calling the 3 o'clock round here in a few minutes. We're going to stay focused right here on this featured match.
I'm glad I get to watch Richard play right here. I was kind of interested in that after talking to him the other day and being in the booth together.
He's a nice guy.
Oh, yeah. Well, his son played in this as well.
Yeah,
correct?
his son Daniel. He didn't qualify
Not this
year,
year,
but a couple
but yeah,
of years ago
yeah.
he was playing. I don't think Richard qualified, so Richard was here, and I actually had him come in the booth and call Daniel's match. But Daniel's a very good player as well, out of Alabama, a dentist, in fact. Talented guy.
We were talking about that when they were here, him and his son, they played a little father-son Scotch doubles against a few guys.
Oh,
It was
that's
kinda
right. That's
fun,
right.
so.
Yeah.
All right, going back to the side rail. I think that's the break I like the best for Ernesto, the way the balls are breaking anyways. Now, of course, it didn't work out, but another dry break, Jason.
Seems to be the trend.
Yeah. Now Blake in a great spot. He can hit this kind of smooth with a little left and come above the 2 very easily. If you hit a little hard, it might drag a little bit like that going into the ball. I think it's going to work out. You see him raise the hand a little bit, admitting he got a little fortunate there.
That's correct. Blake is the defending champion, the 2019 champion. Of course, we didn't play last year. Ernesto, I want to say 2011 is when he
Has it
won
been
his
that long ago?
U.S.
Okay.
Amateur Championship. So about 10 years He's only won this event one time, but he has won
The
a number of
singles.
our events in Vegas.
Vegas,
Yeah, I feel like he's won both the 8-ball classic and the 9-ball shootout at different times. So
big overcut there. So it's kind of funny, you know, he shot the 1, got really fortunate with the cue ball, and then he shot the 2, caught the point over there, kind of fortunate not to scratch. So it's kind of like just leading towards maybe a little bit of a mistake, just, you know, a couple shots in a row, just really not hitting him how he desired, and just a little cut on the 3 got him there. Now you would figure Ernesto would normally play the safe here. The cross side bank is set up and there's a 4 there, but it's a little, you know, not an easy bank and still a lot of work after that. So you kind of would think he would play the safe here, lean towards the safe, put the 3 just on the other side of the 6 maybe, and put the cue ball behind the 9, something like that.
yeah.
And you notice how he just laid on the back rail and used the 9 as that big ball as an eclipse. A lot of players try to come 2 rails and snuggle up on the back of that 9 trying to cut off the the jump shot, but that gets away from you a lot of times and you end up selling out, you know, where your opponent can see the object ball. So like that decision, just staying on the back rail. Nice hit. It's not going to be the reward he maybe deserved on a really nice hit from Blake, but
A lot of energy in the room right now. Again, right before the 3 o'clock round, you got these guys squaring off, getting a lot of attention, and
yeah,
a lot of other players eagerly awaiting their match.
I was watching over here and I didn't even realize that's Raymond right there playing. Right?
Raymond Linares,
Yeah.
another former champion.
Really good player.
Local guy here. Transitioned up from South Florida a couple years ago. Really an interesting guy, too. I enjoy kind of following him on social media. He's always got some very positive things to say, and I like people
Yeah.
like that.
Just like the guy that he now works with and why he came up here, Andrew Clear, very
Yeah,
just neat guys. Just got, you know,
creative.
yeah,
I love creative
just-
guys. I'm kind of in the creative field, so I enjoy.
Yeah, well, perspectives, I think. You just get really neat perspectives on things from guys like that.
For the combination.
Yeah, you know, and the focus there was trying to get the cue ball back to the end rail if he missed, and maybe that led towards the miss. Sometimes you try to put a little extra effort in the, you know, the second part of the shot, which is a little safety somewhat, and sometimes causes misses. So he's just going to shoot this and roll on the 8. It's going to get away from him. Okay, so he's got to have good speed on the cue ball here to come 2 rails, get for the 6 in the side. Ooh, just kind of squeaked that one in, and overcutting it cost him the cue ball. Notice which part of the pocket he hit the 5-2, and that's what sped the cue ball up. And now in a kind of big trouble, really. Got the jump cue out.
It's a big shot here again.
Yeah.
This would, you know, one of these players is going to be on the hill after this. this game. So
And you never know in the spot where you're not going to get to shoot again. I mean, just that caliber of players.
you're right about that. Let's see here.
Got to hit it hard enough to get over, but light enough to get it down. Now he drew the ball nice by landing kind of on top of the 6. I'll tell you, he's not going to leave anything easy, especially because it doesn't appear the 6 goes by the 8. The cue ball's froze back on the top rail, so hard to come back with the cue ball. May see Blake maybe put him behind the 9 here with the cue ball. I'm not sure.
If you're just finding us on Facebook, you're watching the U.S. Amateur Championship taking place here at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida, brought to you by the APA, the American Pool Players Association, our first major championship event in well over a year.
Yeah, it's just going to lead to bigger and better things, though, as the year goes.
I think
Yeah.
so. Everybody's got their eye on August. Will it happen? Can it happen? I like our chances. If I'm betting that we have it.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, still some things got to happen. Seems like every other day now there's like new news with the vaccine being opened up to more people. And
Yeah. And, you know, I thought I read a couple times that, you know, if everyone took it that was available to take it, that like something like the end of May or mid-June, that the whole
crazy.
country is supposed to be covered. And
Yeah.
that's just like a nuts number to me. But
I don't know
wow,
that you're
look
going to
at
get
this
everybody
shot.
to take it. Yeah, look at that leave.
no, undoubtedly you won't.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully enough of us. I'm taking mine when I can get it. Stick that needle in my arm. I just don't want to look at it. That's the way I handle shots. They don't bother me. I just say, don't let me see the needles.
that's weird. I don't mind shots. And I was actually mildly epileptic when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I had to go in and have.
You dealt with some needles.
Yeah, I had to go in and have EEGs, you know, once
wow.
every year or two, and so the testing comes with a lot of shots.
Yeah.
So that didn't bother me. It's weird though when they take blood for some reason. Now
You don't
that
like
one
that so
bothers
much?
me. Yeah, when they put something
go into
in,
the
that's no
vein?
big deal. But
Yeah.
when they take something out, I don't like it so much. Nice shot there, double kissing the 6 and leaving it really tough. So these guys are battling.
Don't want to give an inch. This what is now a race to 2. Very little margin for error.
Yeah, that's a delicate shot. He's got to chip the 6, put it behind the 9, and run the cue ball a couple rails behind the 8. So everything's got to match up here. Not only the object ball, but the cue ball as well. And he's not going to get behind the 8, but he did half the battle and put the 6 behind the 9. Okay, he's just going to feather the 6, lay it over maybe by the 7 or something like that, and run the cue ball back up table. I think that's about all he has. Trying to get that cue ball on the rail. And Ernesto, being from Houston, he plays a bit of one pocket. You know, that's the dominant game in the pool room for the better players a lot of times. You know, for a little fun match here and there.
Yeah, I know
know,
you like
so-
the one pocket. You're
Oh,
always
yeah,
talking about the
I
one
love
pocket.
it. Yeah. Baseball's my favorite game in the world. One pocket's number 2. So
Yeah.
there you go. But so that rail speed with the cue ball is what I'm getting at. You'll notice how he just easily played perfect speed to put the cue ball up on that top rail. All right, that's got to go. I've watched this shot all week with the ladies, and it always ended up a little short, it seemed like. Like the guys or the players in general aren't quite, you know, getting the bed speed down, you might say. Still left them tough. Anytime you got 8 or 9 feet, Jason, shot
Yep.
becomes tough.
It's a sea of blue.
Mm-hmm. He's cueing over the pocket. Always like to put a little outside English on this if you can. I don't know if he can afford to. If he tries to draw this around, he may end up scratching in that upper left. No, he put top inside. Caught a little thick, so... And that was just a funny shot. And like I said, he had to put top right on the ball, where normally you'd like to shoot that with a hair left English. Okay.
All right, appreciate all those folks keeping me updated on the Gators. Apparently they pulled it out, Jeremy. I didn't tell you, but they gave up the lead with like 7 seconds to go. They
Are
tied
you
it.
kidding me?
Went to overtime, but it looks like they pulled it out. So
There you go.
chomp chomp to all my Gator friends out there keeping me updated through the comments.
Great
Appreciate
shot
that.
there by Blake. So all things sit like they're supposed to. He's going to get to the hill first. Well, could have used a little more out of the cue ball there. And not saying it should matter, but you would think he'd want to be, 12, 18 inches closer to that 8. Okay, should just hit this clean to the pocket. Nice shot.
Blake Baker moves to the hill, now leading 6-5. Needs just one more game to move past Ernesto Bayao in this first round showdown, heavyweight showdown. He will have the break as well. So excellent position now for Blake Baker to try to close this out.
Yeah, and it's pressure on Blake, though, too, because, Ernesto gets a shot. He instantly becomes a favorite to win the match because he, wins the game and gets the break in the Hill final game. So
a lot of interest in this match as we approach 1,000 viewers. If you're enjoying what you're watching, I would encourage you guys to hit that share button and share it with your pool playing friends. Trying to get as much exposure for these guys as we can, these great amateur players. I know they certainly appreciate it. Their sponsors certainly appreciate it.
yeah, they deserve it.
And it's just some great pool to watch. So hit that share button. Do us a favor and hit that share button.
Well, nothing down again.
Uh-oh. Another dry break. You see what I'm saying? I feel like
Yeah,
it's just
and they're flying around the table. It's not like,
75% of the time I feel
Yeah.
like we see a dry break.
Now Ernesto's in a really tough spot. Can't get at the 1. Very difficult to roll out. Even to a jump shot, very difficult to roll out. Can't take on the jump with a 3 that distance away. That's just really haphazard. So what do? Where's the place to roll out here? May have to take on the kick shot here. I don't know.
Boy, what a great early match this has been here at the U.S. Amateur Championship. They're all pretty good matches. I don't know if they'll be as good as this match has lived up to be, but we can only hope, right?
Yeah, tough situation here. Yeah, and you're going to, you can say these are 2 of the names in this event, right?
Sure,
But just
absolutely.
like you had in the ladies event, you're going to have some new faces that really shock you and really surprise you this week.
Day
or this
one
weekend.
in 19, we didn't know much about Blake Baker. At least I didn't. Maybe I don't know if you had seen him before, but I didn't know much about him. And
Yeah, I did. I'd seen him before and actually saw him play a little bit, but not a whole lot. So
best way to get some attention is just to kick the door down and announce you're there, and that's what he did in that event, going undefeated. So
yeah, and Ernesto just in a really tough spot. I think he's got to roll out to the jump, and that's definitely what he has to do, I think. But you doubt Blake to not take it. I mean, I think anyways. He passed. Did he pass it? No, he didn't. Okay. Yeah, he did. So one thing about Ernesto, one thing with the jump cues, right? The difference in jump cues and the full cues is years ago we jumped with the full cue and you could draw the ball easily. Now Ernesto, he can still draw the ball with the jump cue, no problem. See that right
nice
there?
shot. Put that one on the highlight reel there. Better note that one.
Yeah, that was great.
Jump shot. Game number 12, Ernesto Bayao.
A little off angle on the 2 here, so he's got some traffic. So I like drawing this ball out and just playing the 3 in the corner. Just draw, you know, a little past the spot here. Yeah, I like that. Nice shot. Nice, sitting pretty. He's going to have to work on the 5 a little bit. So he's going to have to get from the 4 to the 5. But then after that, if he's successful doing that, we should have us a 6-6 match here at the 130 round. Well, looks like he got kind of straightish on this ball.
Never good when Jeremy says he got straightish. When I hear you say he got straightish, I know bad things.
Yeah, and that well, he got kind of straightish here, so he's going to have to draw the cue ball back and get it in line for the 5 in the side. Okay, he's all right.
I feel like that's a good catchphrase for you.
Yeah.
Make some T-shirts up.
You got a little
You got
straightish.
kind of straightish.
No, that's not bad.
There you go. Just remember me when you're rich and famous,
Yeah.
okay, your buddy.
I love all them break-even moments. I figure I can't lose money on it, right? All right. So just kind of what we might thought happened, what we probably wanted to happen, and not to jinx Ernesto, but it looks like he'll. Okay. Pretty good on the 8. Looks like he can just draw the cue ball down a little bit. Again, you don't have to get all the way down there, so if it doesn't sit well to get all the way down there, just, you know, to the middle diamond is plenty. Looks to me he can do what he wants, though. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say anything
No, you ain't got no
until
worries
it
from here.
happens.
You're okay here, Jason.
But we kind of sort of thought this would be a good one. And we have both these players on the hill, so one game to decide this first match for both these great players. Doesn't get much better than that. We got over 1,000 viewers tuning in. You're watching the U.S. Amateur Championship from Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. And it all comes down to this final game, and for Ernesto Bayawa, he's got the break. That's where you want to be, right, Jeremy?
Yeah, it said it at the last game that, of course, Blake's in a little advantage here, but it can turn quickly. Just in that last game, Ernesto made a great shot with the jump cue. Then made a real nice out behind it.
Now, let's just remember how many dry breaks we've seen. So let's see what happens here. Let's see if he makes any adjustments here.
Well, he's used a little bit of a lighter pop, you know, with all the dry breaks. Oh, he's changing to the dead center, and now I think
So
you'll
he is
see
making
him.
an adjustment.
Yeah, and I think you'll see him let it out a little bit more, you know, not back off so much, because he can really turn it up when he wants.
Okay, here we go, folks. One game for the match.
And put a little more crush into that one, a little more speed into that one there. Jason now. Ooh, a little 1-9 with a little safety involved.
Ooh.
Double barrel here, going for the 1-9. Like I said, pinch the cue ball back into the 6, or maybe even behind the 6 a little bit.
That's what he's looking at, isn't it?
Yeah, and the 9's great. There's nothing wrong with giving that effort into trying to make the 9, but the premium here is the cue ball and the safety behind it, because he doesn't have to make the 9 to win the game. If he plays the safety correct, he can still run out afterwards. And I'll tell you, he's got a shot at the 1 as well. I mean, the run out is he's going for the run out. Okay. The 1 goes by the 9. He's just going to float it in, come in between the 3 and 8. Oh, he hit it thick. Got it down, though.
He's off and running.
Yeah, and the 4 goes to both pockets. So main thing here for the 3 in the side is not too much of an angle and stay off the rail with the cue ball is the main thing. That way, if you do get a little bit out of line, if you're off the rail, you can use bottom English and you can kind of manipulate.
2 in the corner.
Did he overhit this? I don't know. No, he's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Not too straightish.
No, not too. He's straightish, but not too straightish.
Not bad
yeah,
straightish.
Exactly. He's the good straightish.
Good straightish.
Yeah.
I like that.
So again, don't fall too short here. Don't want anything too thin on the 4. Looks to be perfect. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a shot on the 8 and 9 really is the work here. And not the 9 so much, just the 8. So, and just as you kind of called it, all them dry breaks, and now, you know, at the right moment for Ernesto, a nice break, a nice opening shot on the 1 to get him set up to clear to the table to take this big opening victory against Blake. Huge, and confidence too, right? I mean, these are some of the top players in the event, but the confidence still means something to them. That's
Absolutely.
For sure. Okay, so a little bit of high, just a touch of right English. Certainly don't want to get dead straight on the 8, but again, you don't want an extreme angle. Just, you know, maybe that looks to be like perfect. See how it's just very slight. So Blake's gonna, our defending champion's gonna lose here in the first round most likely, but
Tough to have to sit there and watch too. I know you've been there, right?
oh
Just-
yeah.
You're kind of helpless.
Times.
You just
Yeah.
got to kind of watch the other guy when he breaks and runs. There's not much you can do except hope.
Expect Blake though to you know, rebound off of this loss, and he played pretty darn well, so just carry things on into the 1-loss side, and
Yeah.
like you said, most likely good chance to see both these guys.
Ernesto
Here in a couple
Biala for
days.
the win here. Pockets that 9 ball. He's got it, folks. Ernesto takes this heavyweight matchup 7-6 over defending champion Blake Baker. Blake will move to the 1-loss side of the bracket. I suspect he will do some damage over there and may take it out on his next opponent. We'll see. But
Right.
Congratulations to Ernesto. Great match there, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We appreciate you tuning in, and we will be back in just a little while from here at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. You're watching the APA U.S. Amateur Championship.